Hi, my name is Bella Gomez, and today I'm going to be talking about the Elizabeth Escalona case. Just a quick overview. Her case has to do with her abusing her 2-year-old daughter. She was attempting to potty train her, and it led her to become frustrated with her daughter, and she ended up beating her child, and then also having injuries so severe to her that she had to go to the hospital to receive treatment, and as also she superglued her daughter's arms to the wall out of frustration. To address the main question of this discussion video, I do not believe that her actions were rational, since she did state that she did act out of emotions and that nothing was really going through her head about the pros and cons of what could come out of this charge if she were to be caught with this child abuse case. So to address the first theory, again, if it's rational or not, I have my notes to the side as well, so I will be looking at those. I don't believe that her actions were rational, only because, like I just mentioned, she didn't really think about the pros and cons of this actions that she was doing. She did mention in her testimony during her court, she did say that she was in a state where she just needed a break from her kids, because they did mention that she had about 5 kids. And so whenever she was potty training her daughter, she did explain that she did need a break for a second. But just to kind of go over what the rational choice theory is, it's just criminal behaviors that are only considered rational if thorough decision making is going into the process, and that's by attempting the potential pros and cons, like I was just saying. Another thing that I need to address is if the 99-year sentence was justified under classic principles such as deterrence and proportionality. Under the general definition of deterrence, I don't really believe that it was, justifiable, only because it does portray the fact that child abuse is not okay, but it just, the punishment itself was not justifiable, because she is a mother of 5 children and has stated during her court hearing that she has 2 previous partners in the past that are fathers to all 5 of her children, that one of them did molest her 2-year-old daughter. It's not clear if it was also happening to the rest of them, and then she also did mention that her husband did oftentimes did abuse her as well. So she did mention that she was just not in a very great point in time in her life. She had substance abuse problems, and she did mention that this was just a regular everyday thing for her. So although this can portray, the fact that child abuse is bad, although it is a widely known and agreed upon thing that child abuse is not a good thing, it's generally, I don't believe that it's somewhat proving whether or not it was justifiable underneath general deterrence. And for proportionality, no, it's not justifiable, only because, like I just said, her ex-husband, I believe, or her ex-partners, they did molest her child, and that can cause a lot of anger, I'm assuming, and she did get abused by the same man, so I can only imagine what position that she could be in. And with the sentence being so severe itself, as it is 99 years, that really just helps. That's putting her children in an unsafe situation, just thinking about the other 2 people that could potentially end up gaining ownership of them. And, a child needs their mother. It's not, there's always room for her to, learn and move on from these mistakes, which is what the whole point of doing time or having some type of sentence is for them to hopefully come out of that, just, learning their lesson. So ultimately, the one charge does not match the sentence that she was given. Even though the crime was wrong in itself, it was just too severe of a punishment for the severity of the crime. Maybe 20-30 years, as it was mentioned in the thing, is probably a little bit more justifiable, since she does need to do time, because like I said, it is not a good crime that she committed. And just kind of going over certainty and celerity. So, the sentence doesn't really affect the possibility of being punished, because it is specific to her specific, circumstances and what she was able to testify in court. And it's just for specific deterrence, it also, it's going to stop her in the future from, if she is able to get out on parole. I know that she has parole eligibility in 2026. So that does stop her from reoffending in the future because she has learned that this is the severity that they're willing to go. Maybe not again, but they have once before, so there's always that possibility of it happening again, since she would be a repeat offender at that point. And then for celerity, so the delay between the crime and then the punishment that she was given, it just really weakens the deterrence effect, only because there was just too much of a gap according to the video. And then just to kind of close up for a sentence, I do believe that, her charge, like the child abuse charge, was wrong. The actions that she did was wrong. There was no reason that she needed to, hit her 2-year-old daughter. There's no reason that anyone should put their hands on a child. It's not right. She did deserve to be sentenced, but just not to the extremities that they did go to that day in her court hearing. 99 years is a lot, and those children, a lot of them, from what was mentioned in the video and also just a general description of the case, they are in their very early developmental stages of their life, so they do need someone there. They need a mother there to be able to guide them, although she's not the best person for that. Maybe they just still need her there after she is potentially able to come out on probation. Thank you.